So Lissandra being taken away, not banned out. J-Storm, I will slap you.
Lissandra, the first pick now for Saigon Jokers. They lock in the Morgana and Jarvan for themselves. Let's see what kind of response does ASUS Fate go for. I mean, ASUS Fate, they showed us some very interesting team composition so far. They've played the Sion in the top lane and initiated this very interesting lane swap to gain early game advantages. They have a very solid total early game process, and I feel that, I mean, sometimes I talk to a manager, talk to a coach as well, I feel that they'd like to think about theorycraft the early game, and we might see some interesting early game strategies coming in from them, and they have a very proactive approach to it. And I like that if they do go for the middle lane over here, could work out for them.
It should work out for them, especially with that Thresh. Now, a good amount of line skill shot danger coming in from ASUS Fate if they decide to lock it in, but instead, gonna be that Lucian for Lisna, who is the newest addition to their roster. For those of you that are a bit uninitiated, the changes are now that Slay's in the top lane, as I mentioned before, and Lisna will be replacing him as the marksman for ASUS Fate.
So there we go. Is it gonna be the Shadow Owls bot lane? Enemies coming together.
Yes, it will be.
To form the Union of Alliance.
It's the strongest bot lane at a period of time, for a period of time rather. But now, once again, making a resurgence into the meta.
So once upon a time, there was a Snuffleful where Trash stole Lucian's wife, and now they're best friends on the rift, creating more Snufflefuls for opponent AD carries and supports.
Yeah, and they'll be facing up against the Shadow Owl, kind of Callista on the other side.
The Spirit of Vengeance. Let's see how much vengeance they will be able to get. If that causes a... Okay, I'm gonna Snuffleful the bot lane in this one.
Yeah, the Morgana Callista lane pretty strong though, but I want to see if they decide to pick up the top laner here, because teams on purple side do like to keep the last pick for the counter pick. Vida though, more of the assassin player, and I think they have left LeBlanc open, which is something they're considering whether they want to pick up, because Slay won't be playing at Lissandra. Instead it's going over to Jinky as a matter of fact, so instead Jace could be the reply to this Lissandra in the mid lane.
Jace is a very interesting pick over here because he has a very unique set of power spikes that I think kind of misses where Callista wants to be. But what I feel in this case is that they're playing a major damage threat. So in this case, Lovita is going to become the main AD carry, and Callista with more of a secondary auxiliary damage threat.
I think SAJ has picked up the Callista as late game insurance, because it gets to that point where if both teams can't edge out each other for the victory, you always have Callista available, when she gets a good set of items to kite around the fight and secure objectives very consistently. So Sue on that Callista will be very key in that fight.
Callista into Lissandra a rather questionable pick.
Yeah, because normally when you play Callista, you don't want to have to deal with point and click crowd control. In this instance, if Lissandra comes in to range and she gets the Frozen Tomb onto you, you're probably gonna die immediately, and it's gonna be rather simple for them to chain CC now that they have hovered over the Sejuani, as well as Cho'Gath in the mid lane for Jinky, or rather, excuse me, Slay in the top lane. Gonna play Cho'Gath.
So Saigon Jokers targeting out Jinky's champion pool, banning out the Orion and Zerov. Jinky very proficient on those mages, and he will be picking up the Cho'Gath over here to go up against Lovita's Jace in the mid lane. And it will be accompanied by the Sejuani as well as Lissandra. So two pairs of enemies. Lucian Trash, Sejuani, Lissandra, Furion, and the Shadow Owls.
Yeah, indeed, very lore wrong, but probably gonna work very well together.
I mean, this is competitive League of Legends. You can take your lore, this is your lore, tear it into, fold it together, tear it into
so all that counts is wins. Yeah.
Chuck it in the rubbish bin.
All that counts is the wins.
Because only when you have the wins, then it counts. It's like what you said, spot on over there.
So safety with the Jarvan here. I have to criticize this pickup. It is still 5.5 patch we are playing on, and Jarvan has seen a couple of hits to his armor value early on. Going up against Sejuani, you can't put out as much pressure on the map early on, and you can't outskill a Sejuani either. So not too sure why they picked it up so early in the rotations.
Well, so we will be seeing the Lulu in the top lane for the Saigon Jokers. It's going to be very centric on protecting Callista as well as the Jace and ASUS Fate. They will be looking to pick up those champions, but I have to feel ASUS Fate, they have a rather easy time doing that. Just layer the ultimates on top of one another. It's just a question of coordinating those spells. And Jinky with the bite will be able to easily chomp down through whatever stats, and whoever does walk into his range. Well, I do not think Callista will be walking into Cho'Gath's range. If Jinky does get a good flash in, might be able to just nom down Sue and take the Callista out of the fight.
The thing is, they have drafted a semi-protect the Callista composition with a good deal of poke as well to kind of weather the sieging storm that ASUS Fate will be throwing out at them. So interesting that Jinky not taking the Lissandra but instead the Cho'Gath. We've seen him play that before in the past and it's not really worked out that well. He normally does it as a kind of get to that late game scale up, be a huge frontline for your team, as well as output a lot of damage in the form of the Pharaoh Scream and the Rupture itself. Additionally, it gives you a good amount of objective control, and when you're going up against a Callista, excuse me, you want that, you know, the ultimate to kind of help you secure those objectives. The true damage, very useful in fact.
Well, so when you have that true damage coming in from the Cho'Gath, you just able to bite them down. And here's a did you know, when you have enough damage in Cho'Gath to instantly nom someone down, teeth marks appear below that person.
Yeah, but that does not apply past stuff like shields as well as heals, so if your opponent has those available, you might want to be careful when you flash in for the out and realize that they don't die. Spawning on the Rift. On the blue side, J-Storm, take me through the teams and the lineups.
So here we have on the blue side, this is ASUS Fate. And now moving over to the red side, this is Saigon Jokers still playing for a slot in the semi-finals of the GPL. Unfortunately, they have been eliminated already, but they have a very nice cash composition for themselves, and they will be looking to do Insidious Gaming Legends a favor over here.
Yeah, if they can pull upset Insidious Gaming Legends, we'll be rather happy with that. Possibly going to buy them some Korean barbecue to thank them. In fact, when they go over to Vietnam for the playoffs, safety using the Demacian standard to spot Mew out. Bear coverage, Sejuani is not impressed. Now cleanse here on Levita. Interesting that he went for that pickup against Jinky, who, for intents and purposes, as a Cho'Gath, is rather good at putting out CC.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Some pings going off. No, looks like they can actually look for the fight over here. They do get a slowdown. The Muriel is on the chase right now. Jinky comes in with the silence as well. A shock blaster straight some damage back. And the first damage comes and they go in for Jinky. The Cho'Gath being dropped down very low at the moment. Are they going to pop the Ignite? Pause big chunks away. There's going to be the flash as Yushin as well to come around from the side. ASUS Fate. They just give up first blood and there's going to be a second one as well. Lovita flashes over the side. But Hyo comes in. He does get a hook down. Exhaust comes in. Oh, but the Dark Binding is good. Lista in a whole bunch of trouble right now. Jinky comes around the side. Akio eats a shock blast to the Fate. And in the end, first blood goes over the Saigon Jokers, and lots of summoner spells being blown all across the board.
Yeah, very greedy fighting a Jace level 1 because he has 2 skills compared to everyone else who has only 1, and they're on different cooldowns, so that's an early advantage being picked up by Nixwater, and he's not going to face any trouble against Slay in the top lane on Lissandra now. It's all fun and games until you get caught out. You saw Mew there, moving forward very aggressively, trying to scare off safety, but in fact did pay for it. Or rather, his top laner paid for it with his life.
I mean, this is the point when Screams, you're like, oh, we give up first blood. And start the pause, and like, let's redo that one. Pick the same champs and then we go into that again. But unfortunately, this is not a scrim. This is the GPL. This is all completely 100% serious business.
And speaking of rerolls, don't forget tomorrow we'll have that rematch between Hanoi Full Lewis as well as Bangkok Titans. Of course, it was postponed due to a couple of technical issues.
You mentioned Full Lewis's name, and now we might have to see a half-an-hour pause.
Unfortunately,
You jinxed it, Hungry.
yeah, we never know. I was just reminded by the pause though, so
Synonymous with Full Lewis's name at this point.
in fact, what it stands for?
Have not fully loaded HFL, but they will be playing tomorrow. And today we will be having ASUS Fate playing against the Saigon Jokers. I do believe that they are playing from the same location in Saigon at the moment. There's probably a live audience there watching them right now, seeing these two teams battle it out against one another.
Should be rather interesting, but no, it's interesting. A pause now.
The rotations in the centered screen. How many times does the circle rotate in 1 minute?
400 go immediately in favor of Nixwater as our observer
You
showing us.
completely ignore my question.
Hey, I'm getting down to the facts of the game, man. I'm an analyst. It's my job.
Come on, you gotta analyze more interesting things. You can analyze things like items, team compositions. We could have done that at the start. We can do that during the game, but now there's a pause. So you've got to answer my question. How many times does the circle rotate?
I don't know. You're the engineer. You can tell me.
Well, it looks like we would never be able to find out as play has resumed.
So 400 go in the pocket of Nixwater. Not buying any items early on. Items still more or less equal in the top lane. Whereas a pink ward was picked up by Yushin from the assist. will be giving a hand to safety here together with Su. Wonder if he'll go in deep into the jungle to get a pink ward out and spot out Miyu when he walks past. And there's a lane swap coming from ASUS Fate. Akiho walking into lane, did not set the freeze though, so Listener not gonna get that freeze against Nixwater.
Here we have in the bottom lane, Slay will be just hiding the brush. He does get spotted out Yushin as well as Su. We'll be zoning him out with the Morgana as well as Kalista. The moment the Kalista starts also attacking into you, you're just gonna hightail it out of there because you're just gonna be just kiting forward, and the rent the moment it comes down, it will be hitting like a truck.
Safety going for his enemy's rib buff, so both junglers just trading their respective buffs. And it looks like Akiho is sticking in lane for that level 2 now. He has hit that point, walks out of lane to get some vision down. Wonder if he'll stick around or go for that early roam onto Jinky. Oh, excuse me, onto Lavida.
Once again, the lane's up all about who is able to squeeze out more value and experience out of the lane. And so far, we haven't seen the major dive coming just yet, but in the mid lane, 3-man gank, mid lane, and Jinky gets hit by the Dark Binding, and he is going to be falling down. Yeah,
they give the kill over to Lavida now, so it's 2-0 to SAJ. And he should have been expecting that with the lane swap coming in, early roams by Yushin, as well as safety. Giving the advantage early over to Jace, who will be picking up a tier at least, if not the Brutalizer against Jinky. Couldn't even afford to buy any items on that dash, instead picking up a couple of wards and a side ward. A couple of pots and a side ward, excuse me.
Nixwater is able to reply with some damage because he was able to pick up a lot of the early experience. He is still able to get a fair amount of experience, and with their levels, you do get a fresh chunk of damage, and he's just trading well in the top lane with Listener.
Yushin heading up to share the experience together with Nixwater, so they don't want this support Morgana to fall too far behind despite the early roams. Want to get some experience onto her, and I think level 3 is the point where she becomes the most effective because you got a good amount of wave clear to help break any freezes, and you have the Black Shield and Dark Binding to make an impact around the map once you start roaming. Of course, the tier now completed onto Lavida. It's going to start scaling up very soon.
He comes in a good amount of damage comes in as well, using the Pierce into the Ren. Pick up some CS for himself and do some damage as well. So there we go, the Sentinels coming out. Kalista with the Sentinels, I mean, you should throw them out, but I'm not really sure how much impact do you should decide to. Yeah, you do spot out a gang coming out. But still, how useful those things actually are, haven't really seen them make full use of. Haven't really seen the team really make intelligent use of them.
It's rather hard because of the narrow cone of vision they provide, so you have to path it quite accurately or else you'll leave yourself exposed to ganks. And now Yushin's gonna find Miyu in the jungle here. Uses Tormented Soil to get some damage down. Maybe steal 1 or 2 minions instead, does not get it. Vision now in the bot side very heavily in the favor of SAJ, but in the top side not being replied by ASUS Fate. Slay getting taken very low under his own turret. I believe it was that Ren and Pierce from Yushin.
Being some in action right now. This one is still, I would say, both top winners are able to get quite a decent amount of farm despite being in the lane swap scenario.
A good wave clear comes. Lissandra has a good amount of wave clear coming in from her own skill set, and Nixwater with the early kill as well, able to keep very relevant. As a result, both top laners still quite equal in terms of CS, but it is Nixwater that's coming out ahead in terms of trades. The proxy Glitterlands doing a lot of work onto Listener, who for all intents and purposes not the bright spark on his team ever since he had joined. I think one of the weaker targets in fact.
But here we go, it is the attempt. Akio flashes forward, he does get the flay down, but Listener just taken so low at the moment. Akio still looking for the hook, does land it in the end, piercing light comes through. Listener gets the kill of the Nixwater.
Yeah, but the reply dragon immediately from SAJ. There is a ward inside that was put down early on by Miyu. Gonna expire very soon. Ward over will spot him out in response, and it's going to be a very simple secure here for SAJ.
They pick up the dragon for themselves, Saigon Jokers. That's a nice objective to have at the 6-minute mark.
Oh, it's a teleport coming from Nixwater in the top. He's going to find Listener, who has not recalled yet, has flash available. Wonder if he'll use it. Nixwater spots him out.
There we go. Very simple. Help picks in the Glitterlands. Listener doesn't even try to use the relentless pursuit to get off that one. Completely out of mana.
Like I mentioned, not the brightest spark on his team in terms of gameplay. I think just a lot to be desired.
But there's the B of Sword completed for him though. So with that, I do believe he will have quite a good bullying presence against Listener in the lane itself, against Nick's Warden in the lane itself, if he is able to get the help from his support.
Does look like ASUS Fate don't want to swap back the lanes. Of course, they did lose Dragon in the course of things, and why not keep to the standard lanes as is, because there's nothing to be lost anymore. You can keep pressure onto Nick's Water with your BF sword, as you mentioned. Something about ASUS Fate that has really impressed me is the way they play out lane swaps and safety, getting taken very low with the blue buff. But yeah, something that's really impressed me about ASUS Fate is the way they play out lane swaps. They find ways to get their own top laner ahead of the enemy top laner, and it works out very effectively most of the time.
Blue buff being handled over the Lovita. He already has the tier of the goddess completed, so that will be stacking up rather quickly now that he has the blue buff available for himself. In about 8 minutes or so. 16 minutes, that's when I believe he will be getting the Maramune. Meanwhile, ASUS Fate, they're going to be clearing out some vision and still trying to deny this experience away from the Lulu.
Next Warrior has hit level 6, and that's going to make it rather hard for Akiho and Listener to even try and kill this Lulu here. Gonna forsake a lot of CS over to her. Gotta pay tribute, man.
Good micro down there. I do believe Nick's Water got all of those creeps.
Yeah, definitely great micro. Did miss one, I believe. And Slay once again getting taken very low in the bot lane by Su. Has been pressured out time and time again, but still managing to find the experience and crowd, and the creep score that he needs.
So Slay does make a recall. But then heading back to base. Let's see what he does pick up himself. Just gonna be getting more HP from.
I like what Yushin is doing here. It's very enjoyable to see a good Kalista and her support play, because Yushin is making use of the passive extra damage on Kalista's Sentinel to clear the wave very quickly and shove it up to deny all the experience and gold from Slay.
I mean, this is rather interesting. SAJ defeated. Okay, they're gonna be hitting a power spike, so let's take down this turret. Not easy to deny the wave anymore away from Slay. There we go. The Dark Binding. Not gonna be shot out. Su as Yushin. Not gonna be staying aggressive for that one. But I do believe Fate's calling to engagement definitely was a possibility there.
Yeah, and hence Slay had to be very careful backing off with the Glacial Path. Fate's call into a binding and just stacking Ren stacks onto Slay would have killed him rather simply. Frozen Tomb available, but maybe not gonna save him. Mickey gonna get engaged on by Lovita. Here comes
Yushin from the side. Is he able to get the Frozen Bullet complete misses? But here comes Slay. Flashes in, gets the lockdown. It's 1 for 1 so far. They do get a second one. 2 for 2 at the moment. Safety on the run right now. Akio, is he able to land the hook? Here comes the lantern. Does Jinky grab it? Is Myoryu who goes for it instead? Arctic also comes in. He gets the slowdown. Lovita in a little bit of trouble. Safety goes around the side, but the hook gets cleansed away.
Yeah,
How did he cleanse it away?
You can cleanse
Oh,
the
the cleanse summoner spell.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You can cleanse the hook away, and it was a 2 for 1 there.
2 for 2.
For ASUS Fate. Oh, yeah, Slay went down very early on, so it was a 2 for 2. Mid tier 1 getting pushed by ASUS Fate here. Very greedy of Lovita not to recall, instead sticking around with Yushin to play out the wave.
Now this is just so weird to look at because we have the AD carry up on the top lane and Lucian versus Lulu. And I have to say, because Nick's Water has been actively staying around and being able to pick up orders here. In fact, SAJ, they were able to go even in the fight despite being oh wait, it was a 4v4 throughout. That's interesting.
And that has to do with the early item pickups that Slay managed to get there. His ultimate landed on 3 members together with the Fiendish Codex that he completed early on. Big boost in power, whereas Nick's Water not present in that fight. His ultimate is the big key point for SAJ, and a lot of the gold from the team is being centered onto this Lulu. So not participating resulted in an equal trade for ASUS Fate, in a scenario where they would have gotten behind. Dragon available in slightly under a minute. They should be swapping back. Instead, still gonna continue sending Listener to the top lane. A lot of gold and resources getting put into making sure Lucian gets ahead.
Rob Aegis has been completed on Cho'Gath Blast. Note the timer now about 11 minutes 50 seconds. Let's just keep it at 12 minutes. For easy reference, at 22 minutes, that Rob Aegis will be fully stacked up. Safety headed up into the top lane. They're just going to be hunting for the AD carry over here. Listener, he has absolutely no idea, but the trash is coming around from the sidelines as well. Oh, this might be huge. And there we go. He dodges out the good, and that is the flash as well as a relentless pursuit. Lantern thrown over. Listener doesn't even bother grabbing it. Says, up, got his brushes the dust off his shoulders and escapes away from that.
Yeah, but because Safety had to go up to get that gank down, ASUS Fate have control around the Baron, Dragon Pit now, excuse me. And Slay with the Speed Shrine can engage onto Yushin as well as Su if they find the opening. Mew gets spotted out by the Tormented Soil. The gold onto Yushin should signal a Sejuani or at least someone inside that brush.
Jinky bursting through the spell shield with the red spikes, the purple spikes, blue spikes, vorpal spikes.
Now Levita did get his blue buff in all of that downtime, and he's gonna need some time to recharge back his mana, heal it up to allow himself to poke out members of ASUS Fate. Of course, with the Brutalizer as well as the pickaxe, gonna deal a hefty amount of damage onto anyone the Shock Blast lands on. Dragon is available, Vision sorely in control by ASUS Fate. Teleport as well for Nyx Water is up.
Hook comes in from a keyhole. Let's just throw his lantern and pick up some souls for himself. Looking at Slay in the bottom lane. Look at him farm. Well, there we go. This is one farm. This is the counting game right now. Count with me. That's 1. Ha ha ha. 2. And Lovita just grabs a whole bunch for himself and stuff. A little bit of a snooze fest right now. Both teams just waiting to hit their power spikes. I do believe 18 minutes is when Saigon Jokers will be busting open the gates and having that Jace ping start to do work.
But this is really strange because ASUS Fate put a lot of the gold onto Listener in the top lane, and the bottom side is completely empty. They have no DPS. Not sure why SAJ is not sneaking away this dragon, or at least forcing a fight here, because Su is pretty strong and so is Levita. They both hit a good threshold of damage. They should be forcing this fight out together with the teleport available from Nyx Water, but SAJ is just sloppy and dropping the ball here strategically.
I mean, I have to say as well, looking at Nyx Water, play this Lulu in the top lane. She's doing such a fantastic job in getting the challenge down onto Listener as well. Listener getting a little bit too adventurous, straight away get the proxy help picks into the lens and chunk him down.
Yeah, and the moment you chunk away the Lucian, that should be go time to do the dragon, but instead the whole team just meandering around, not really having a clear focus on objectives. I really have to criticize the gameplay coming in from SAJ. Could be the fact that they're still not used to the roster of Su and Yushin in the bot lane. It was previously Prince and Su, now the latter, having to switch over to the marksman role, not dealing very well with the swap, in fact.
I like the way you described him as meandering, because the river in this game, it doesn't meander at all. It's just a straight one all the way from one corner to the other. It's a completely straight river.
It's a lazy river.
It's like those lazy rivers. You go in there, line your float, and then just brings you around. Oh man, I love that.
We should go to the theme park someday, Jason.
Just 2 guys, 2 of us?
No, we can ask the other casters. I'm pretty sure Chris and Wolf as well will have some time. And
Oh,
SAJ here.
SAJ safety. The black shield is good to prevent the snow from coming down as well. That looked like it could have been a big cure for them. Safety gets caught out over there. You know, SAJ, they're going to be starting to start to clear out the vision. Who comes down? Sneaky attack from Akio. Let's just fuck up the dragon is going to be started out over here. Ryoyu is going to see this one. The ward has been dropped down, and here comes the collapse. It's the Lissandra and Lulu. They both have TP available. Are they going to be capturing it? There we go. Charge comes in. Ray team gets the dragon, grabs the lanterns right out of there.
Yeah, it was Nyx Water in the back who teleported in. Slay did not, and hence SAJ gets the dragon. Very simply, Wild Growth was not used at all. Not particularly sure what effect Nyx Water had on that fight. Maybe just for security, but trading turret for dragon ASUS Fate. Coming out a hit once again on the gold department, or rather, coming out even at least. I mean,
I wonder how Jinky is deciding want to play in the mid lane, because he could have gone to op.gg and say, oh, Faker's playing Cho'Gath in the mid lane, gotta play that in the GPL too. True story, Faker has indeed been playing a lot of Cho'Gath in solo queue.
I mean, it has been working out really well because he's 2-1 and 0, scaling up very decently, and as that really huge Cho'Gath, you can tank the majority of the shock blast for your team and still manage to sustain up because of your passive. So I think Jinky does have a good grasp of what he's doing here. Definitely.
I just feel at this point he's going to be a dark biting magnet for collision size that large.
Wait till he gets Elixir of Iron and he'll just be a huge, giant monster in your face.
AP Cho'Gath, Elixir of Iron?
Good for sieging, dude.
Cool. I'm just kind of thinking that you would get Elixir Sorcery instead. I mean, the Jungle Cho'Gath or Tank Cho'Gath. Yeah, maybe. But then again, who am I to question these players?
Safety going for a very defensive itemization after the Warriors Enchantment, now Magic Mantle and Ruby Crystal for some resistances and health. Looking to go for that Aegis and hopefully the Locket after. They need that defensive stats to deal with this Lissandra as well as Cho'Gath packing a lot of AP damage. Now of course Su, a bit of defensive stats for his teammates never hurt.
Now, all of SAJ, they're really looking to collapse on the top lane, which is Slade in a whole lot of trouble. I kind of like this play, just grouping up aggressively, moving around the map and trying to keep ASUS Fate on their toes. But the wait for this game to kick into place, like I said, 22 minutes. Until the Raw Aegis fully scales up, there's going to be another 4 minutes.
Yeah, the ward there plays very weirdly. You can't really see into the whole brush. Maybe a bit of a issue with that.
Tactical warding.
Well, considering it doesn't grant much vision, maybe untactical warding would be the name.
In fact, it doesn't grant any vision at all. Doesn't seem so. The rush just sees around a small area into the lane, and that's about it. You always able to find a hook. There's a shock blast dodge down.
SAJ looking rather strong. In about 3 minutes, they should be looking to fight. Once the last whisper is completed on Lovida and the Maramoon is charged up. Su as well, going to pick up his Infinity Edge, I believe. Or no, going for the Bloodthirster into Last Whisper. So the Pierce build first, coming in from Su. Going to do a lot of damage with his Q. Not so much from the auto attack and Ren stacks. And 545 stacks on the tier, or excuse me, the Manamune Lovida. Charging up very slowly.
You know, if this J-Spec doesn't work out, I'm going to dub this no damage, only tears.
No damage, only tears. Well, he needs the Last Whisper for it to work, and he has the pickaxe already. Even so, his his Shock Blast have been chunking people out quite efficiently. This now gonna see the business end of that Shock Blast very soon.
Four red trinkets, one blue trinket. And on the side of ASUS Fate, one yellow trinket, three red trinkets, one blue trinket. Proving that the casters can indeed count. Nice. Oh, Slade's gonna get caught over here, gets turned into a little bit of a munchkin. Cataclysm comes down and the Lissandra gets instantly deleted in the top lane.
Those are 3 ultimates that were blown to get a kill onto Slay. I think ASUS Fate has to reply with something here because that's a lot of resources committed to killing this Lissandra. Instead, SAJ just gonna get the turret without any reply from ASUS Fate. They're playing really scared now, which is reasonable considering SAJ are a bit of a power spike, having completed the Morale Nomicon and Bloodthirster.
Gets the fail ward as well.
Double fail ward. Maybe that was just, maybe that brush is just haunted, we just don't know.
I mean, 0-0 and 2 on the Sejuani. Interesting enough, going for the Ninja's Tab Eyes. That's going to be reducing a lot of damage that will be coming in. But here's the thing, against tanks, the last chunk of the damage will be coming in from the Ren, coming from Su. And that's what he has to be careful about.
The thing is, his Ren will hurt, yes. And not to mention, a lot of it will be coming from Shock Blast, from Lovida, as well as Glitter Lance from next quarter. You're only itemizing against one target, where in fact Mercury Threads would have been a better choice in this situation, I think.
You reduce Polymorph, you reduce Dark Binding. Yeah. I like your assessment of that.
Oh. Maybe we get spotted out there. He should know that there's a ward around now.
Scumbag Jinky doesn't give a key to any of the target on stack.
Rather slow-paced game compared to what we've seen earlier in the day between SF5 and Cities Gaming Legends. This game slightly more measured after the early first blood over to SAJ, but it's just that I think the red team here not really capitalizing on their strengths. They are 1000 gold ahead.
I mean, but we look at the items right now. Major items completed on both sides already. This game may just explode at any moment. Agents of the Legion on that Jarvan going into Hourglass as well as a 10 stacks roll of Aegis, but here we have in the top lane, Slay no bunch of trouble flashes for Nixwater, tries to go for the execute, but Slay flashes out of the way as well.
Teleport still available for him, so he can recall and join the fight if he needs to now. Wild Growth was used for that, but Frozen Tomb is available for Slay. Dragon gonna be snuck away by SAJ. Mew joins the fight, he's a bit too committed there.
And here comes the culling from the backline as well. The Glacier Prison is good, and the Q is now the one to be a little bit of trouble. They burst down to trouble. Lovina comes in from the back, and ASUS Fate is just cleaning up right now. Sue has to jump away from that one. Jinky just doing so much damage on this Cho'Gath at the moment. Nixwater tries to come in for the execute, but the Zhonya's comes through. Now Lovina will be the focus. Here we go. Slay goes forward. It's gonna be multiple members clean up. Only Sue left alive.
And a triple kill for Listna. And just as I mentioned, the Wild Growth now available for Nixwater in that fight, whereas the Frozen Tomb was available. That made such a difference because despite cleansing it off, a lot of the damage still went through. The crowd control does not connect, but Lovina as well as Sue and Safety got chunked out so much by the Frozen Tomb.
Now this is going to be translating over to another turret for ASUS, but they have to think about it. 23 minutes in, and already 3 dragons over the SAJ. They should be thinking about contesting the next one at the 29-minute mark.
Yeah, they have to set up the vision around there and be able to get behind SAJ when they start doing the dragon. People like Slay as well as Jinky have to find the good flanks to lock up priority members of SAJ. Mew can just be the front line, throw the Glacial Prison out and stall time for his team. There's now 4-1 and 1 now. The dedication to getting him ping off in this game.
I have to say as well, 3-1 and 1 on this Cho'Gath in the middle lane. The last time we saw it, they played it against Insidious Gaming Legends. And that was against a double AD carry composition where he pretty much just did nothing other than sit around and eat poke.
Yeah, he was the poke magnet.
Just a target board. Huge target board at that.
But the good news now is that Jinky, despite being a huge target board, has the backup of Listna to do a lot of damage as Mew gets caught out quite a bit here, but doesn't really take much damage from that. No crowd control connecting means no danger to that Sejuani.
Oh, Nixwater, the particular lens. Always a pretty good trick when your opponent can't do anything down to you.
Whimsy as well to get Lovina out of the rupture. Very good team play coming from SAJ. Looking to siege up this mid turret. They don't have complete vision around though, so ASUS Fate can't find the flanks that they need.
Shock Blast. KO hitting a fair chunk of damage over there. I mean, as a support, you should be trying to think about all these major spells. If it's like an entire poke composition, yeah, that's fine if you lose track of some of this cooldowns, but when it's just one Jace, you can kind of count 12 seconds on the next Shock Blast, a Sarah take a Shock Blast, and just stay wide out of range for that one.
In fact, you should just be calling Jinky over to sit in front of you and kind of tank majority of the damage. Of course, he is the rather large Cho'Gath at this point in time. Safety getting caught out here.
But he gets locked up. There we go. Frozen Tomb comes down as well, and instantly the jungle gets deleted. Safety got caught going for a stroll over there.
Yeah, a bit absent-minded there. It's gonna be Lovina next, who's going for a walk. Instead, manages to get away using that transformation ultimate. Well, not so much of an ultimate, more of a passive-ish kind of thing.
Jinky comes and gets the scream now. Mirio, they're under the tower right now. It's currently a 5v4. Saigon Joker's really wanting to play this one. They do get a knockup onto Sue, and Jinky, that is a fair turn of damage. And here we have it. The Maramune is completed onto the J. Saigon Joker is trying to make something happen right now.
Yeah, big power spike in the form of the Manamune as well as components of the Last Whisper here.
They will be coming across. He does try to slow down as Saigon Joker. They do spawn out with a ward. Culling does come down to clear up the wave, and Listener clears the turret.
Now when you play a composition like SAJ has, the poke composition, you need to be able to group up as 5 and stall the fight out while landing poke beforehand. SAJ not doing a very good job of that, considering Safety got caught out, but right now this is what they need to be doing. Set up a siege here and start poking members of ASUS Fate out and hope to land a Binding or a Glitter Lance and just delete someone off of the map.
Oh, so they come to, he does snare up Yushin. The help X is there, however, so that's going to be fighting him a nice bucket to deal with. Saracen Gate just threatening to engage right now. Kyo throws out the Ascendance, doesn't find anyone. Gone fishing. Found nothing.
SAJ doing a very good job with the composition, finally picking up speed. They are at that point now where ASUS Fate doesn't really have a reply. Of course, just dodging around seems to be a good reply, but easier said than done.
But that's one of those awful moments where you either start fighting. It's like, oh, I hope there's no follow-up onto this one. They do lock up safety 1 second. He gets the hook. It's like, you're gonna follow. Nope, he isn't gonna do. A safety walks out the maximum range, and that will cancel the hook.
Bit of a miscommunication there. Despite the despite the black shield, he still used flash to get out. I think safety just a bit scarred from the previous time he got caught strolling.
So huge wave putting in the bottom lane right now. The ASUS Fate, they're going to be keeping the pressure on. They will be pushing into the mid lane right now. But here comes the engage from SAJ. They see the Sentinel. They hook onto Su. A kill. He has the 80 carry, but they don't follow up. They go for the turret instead. Neo is the one to be caught out right now. SAJ, they might find the engagement over here. Neo, is he going to be going for his swing the field right now? He's been turned into a munchkin. Are they going to go for Su? Nope, as ASUS Fate, they're going to be backing away from this one. Grabs the lantern and hits out of that one. Is safety going to continue for an engagement? Dark Binding just missed. They're going on to Mirio, but there's not a person you want to be hitting with the Cataclysm. The Sejuani is just locked up into that one. Who's trapped with who now? And Ashley comes in from the side as well. Ultimate onto Yushin. That is the support who's going to fall. Su under fire right now, but ASUS Fate is successfully kited away, and the box is good for the disengage. Yeah, Lovita still on the chase as Cyrus gets shock blast. Will he be able to snipe anyone? The frontline Jinky is going to help his teammates block that one out. Slay eats some damage, and Saigon Jokers, they're turning it around. Dragon's going to spawn. This will be Dragon number 4. ASUS Fate, will they be able to contest?
Yeah, no Frozen Tomb available, so no lockdown from ASUS Fate, whereas
Onyx Warrior gets caught. Is he going to get numb? Where's the bite? 2 more attacks. We'll be able to get it, but in the end, Slay and Jinky, they pick it up. But that's Dragon number 4. SAJ, they're losing the fights, but they're taking the kills. They're taking the dragons, I mean.
Yeah, 4,000 gold ahead is ASUS Fate now. And I have to feel like SAJ, despite not really coming out ahead of these fights, their objective control is still really strong, and the reason why they aren't really winning these fights is they aren't able to land the pokes down before they go in, and it's always someone that gets caught out or overextends without his teammates supporting him. It was safety time and time again, then went in alone and got blown up before his team could pile on the damage. Baron being attempted now from ASUS Fate. Wonder if SAJ can defend this.
Are they going to do it? Looks like they will have to back off. They got a little bit desperate to start out the Baron, and the moment they see SAJ come over, they back away from it. Is SAJ just going to turn around and do the Baron for themselves?
Teleport in from Nixwater here. He wants to join in the fight. It should be the tier 2 mid turret that's going down if they all pile up onto this. 3 minions only to tank up the wave, but it should go down relatively quick with 5 members around.
There we go. SAJ just with the better rotations move around the map. 4 turrets and 4 dragons for themselves. It kind of keeps you mastering the objective game.
Nixwater running up to the top lane to defend the wave. Slay understands that he can set up the slow push with teleport available to threaten the 6-man, as it were. But against this very mobile Lulu who can whimsy herself and run across the map at such great speeds, I think it's rather tough to play the whole wave control game.
So Slay will be trying to pick up some additional farm for himself, not immediately starting at the slow push. And he's going to be letting the slightly damaged wave hit the next one, and that's going to be causing the wave to push back in the favor, I believe. Oh, nope. He's going to be clearing this one out. He's just going to be pushing it all the way, just making sure that his opponents get a small wave when it hits their side.
Has the blasting wand in his pocket. Should be going to the Abyssal Scepter next because he's going to be in the thick of things, and you want to have that AoE magic reduction to help Jinky land more damage, help Miyu land more damage. The tank jungler, of course, itemizing tank.
Sejuani right now completed the Randuin's Omen already. That will be a huge factor in fights. When you go in there, you have the Cinderhawk that's going to be doing AoE damage, and then you have the AoE slow to follow up on it as well. They seem to be picking on quite hard onto SAJ's damage composition, and Lulu at the top lane, yeah, you're an AD champion, but you just don't do all that much damage.
Yeah, you normally want Lulu for her utility, and this is where SAJ's Su comes in as late game insurance. He needs the Last Whisper though, because a lot of armor on the side of ASUS Fate. 2 Zhonyas and a Randuin's. All very good at mitigating the damage coming in from this Callista.
Oh, so love to see Jinky, but but we see a Q getting caught out on the side. There's going to be the support who falls, but ASUS Fate, they continue to fight this one. It's going to be a 4v5. All the outdoors blown away. They get the jungler. Next one, the next one to fall. This is going to be huge. Su flashes out there, but the knockup is good onto him. Su still on the run right now. He's able to escape. Oh, right at the tip. ASUS Fate, they just clean house. Lovita tries to come around.
Be there, Lovita.
Oh, he gets the slowdown. Lovita does get the execution, but here comes Slay as well. Listener coming around from the side. How much is ASUS Fate going to come out of this one? 3 members alive, the 80 carry. They will be able to burst down this turret really quickly.
Yeah, 3 members strong. Jinky can just face tank this. He wants to wait for the minions to get there first. Listener with that double tap passive will be able to deal a lot of damage to this turret. Going down very quickly now, the inhibitor next to fall, I believe. ASUS Fate coming out very far ahead after taking all these great fights. And it was once again Safety that went in without his teammate got blown up. At the end, Su got caught by the Frozen Tomb and Slay just had such a great impact in that fight.
The Saigon Jokers now, they find themselves up against the ropes. The inhibitor is down. But here's one thing that's going for them. You have 4 dragons. So the next dragon fight might be where ASUS Fate might want to capitalize into these things. Oh, are they going to find a kill?
The question is, SAJ might be hard-pressed to give up the next dragon and prevent the Baron attempt by ASUS Fate, because yes, you may have all the buffs from dragon, but with the Baron and how far ASUS Fate is ahead, they could very well just prevent the fights and let the waves push themselves out.
I honestly think 5 dragons might be better for SAJ than a Baron, because Baron no longer gives regeneration. And if you do land a shock blast with those 5 dragons, you're going to be dealing so much damage, because that's going to be ticking over time as well. And it's going to be helping Lulu do more damage in fights as well.
Yeah,
at this point of time, the Saigon Jokers, they can take anything to help them do more damage in these fights.
whether they can set up for the dragon is a whole other story, as
Oh, they're looping around. They're trying to find safety. Oh no, they're actually going for next forward and safe. This might be a huge fight in the top lane. SAJ is just slow and late in the party right now. This is going to be the turret over the ASUS Fate, but the dragon is going to be up in the minute. SAJ, they're going to be stacking this turret. They're kind of deciding what should we go for right now. The mid lane is being pressured against them. Super minions are pushing. Still a little bit of a journey away, but now ASUS Fate is starting to see. You want to keep Saigon Jokers over here.
I like what ASUS Fate is doing in the jungle right now, because they know that they're not weak to any flanks coming from SAJ, hence they don't have to particularly ward up the jungle. They just know that they have to stick together as a death ball and run forward to start sieging, and SAJ has no reply except to poke against them, and this is what Levita's trying to do, but he's not really landing many of these shock blasts, which are really needed to lower the health of ASUS Fate now.
Stay on the sides as well. He might try to go for a sneaky engagement over there, but the rest of the team not in position just yet. Fire might be breaking out over here. They try to go in. The death sentence doesn't land onto anyone just yet. The Kiho is going to be the point man in this situation. Land the death sentence, follow it up with Jinkies, knock up, and then Slay comes in and finishes the job by locking up the rest of the team and providing the disengage or re-engage that ASUS Fate needs on the rest of the SAJ squad. Oh, fight has been broken now. Safety is going to be the focus. Excellent. No checkers coming for Illusion. The listener will not be locked up, and the damage from the Illusion is just so much. He gets one. How many more is he going to get? Safety is now going to be in focus. Jinky gets polymorphed up. The Illusion still alive. He gets Lovita. This is just huge. ASUS Fate, they're just winning all these fights.
And they can get the dragon now, 4 members to 2. Su still alive though with Nyx Water out of mana. Don't think this Lulu will be able to participate in any form. Safety has to recall, and moving forward is ASUS Fate with Listener rather strong. Akiho, the point man, has to land the hooks onto Su to blow him up. They're rounding the corner, trying to get a flank onto him, letting the dragon reset for a bit. Glacial Path is up for Slay. He might want to take this side better against it.
The Shaman does come down to 1003 damage, 2 neutral monsters and minions. It's definitely going to help them steal that away from the Callista. I would say that was really well played.
It's 1000 base damage, and don't forget it scales with AP as well.
So a ratio of 1.
Yeah, so it's actually really high to for you to secure objectives with.
I really like the static shift coming from the Lucian, because your middle lane is a Cho'Gath. It doesn't really have the best way to get the static shift in 10, 1 and 3 on this Lucian. My goodness. Last Whisper being picked up as well.
Yeah, that, and you want the spike damage coming in from the active, because if you manage to catch onto Su, Lightbringer auto attack will bring him down to almost no health, and that's what Listener has been doing this fight so well, just getting into the backline and dealing a lot of trouble together with Slay. Of course, he has the freedom to kite around very easily.
There's going to be a blue buff picked up by ASUS Fate, but now Slay might find himself in a little bit of trouble up here, but looks like they're baiting for it. Milyu and the rest of the ASUS Fate team are coming around the sides, not running less onto the Sejani, and I think that should be the end of the chase. And they're going to be dropping down some wards and establishing some presence over the Baron here. I'm kind of curious as to where is the lane pushing out at the bottom side.
It will be pushing out towards SAJ, because there is a huge wave that's been shoved right now, and they're mostly ranged mage minions. As Akio takes a shock blast to the face, it looks like he's going to be going over to facilitate the push even quicker. He has the teleport available, and all they have to do is get a ward behind SAJ to find the flank that Slay really needs and lock down too.
I'm just kind of curious right now. Can you teleport to war? Sorry, can you teleport to Thresh's Lantern? You can definitely teleport to war.
You can teleport to Thresh's Lantern if he throws it behind, and Maybe that's something tricky that ASUS may be looking to do. The Rupture Connect.
Here we go. Is the engagement coming? Listener is locked up in the Cataclysm, but here comes the teleport from Slay. Is able to get onto anyone. The ultimate doesn't connect just yet. Slay might be falling onto this one. The knocker comes down instantly. Slay is gonna fall. Jinky now has to get out of that one. The Saigon Jokers, they might just turn this one around. The Zonias has been bought, and now Saigon Jokers, they are on the chase. 2 for 0. This might just be Baron for them.
Yeah, Listener has to run away soon, rounding the corner together with Miyu.
Oh, they get Nyx Water. But are they able to continue this fight? And there we go. Letton has to drop Miyu. Will be sacrificing his support for that one. And the Baron will be doing some damage over here. Miyu is on the chase right now. Listener throws out some damage. And is there going to be a sneaky assassination attempt here?
It is 4 for 1 for SAJ now. And with safety alive, they can very well just do this Baron. Of course, the Ren going to help them secure that very simply. Listener has to come up with a big MVP play to even try to contest this.
Super minions are in the base of SAJ right now. And they will be going on to this turret, but now with the Baron done, it should be an easy defense for them.
Yeah, I wonder if we can get a replay of that fight, of how it all went wrong for ASUS Fate. I believe it was Slay who was in a terrible position, got caught out, couldn't even use the Frozen Tomb to stall for his own life. Didn't even use the Zonias as well, and I think just poor play overall by Slay there resulted in the loss for ASUS Fate.
Suddenly, Saigon Jokers, they're closing the goal gap once again. They're just behind by about 1,000 gold. That one of one, listen, I have to say, that's really impressive. Now he's going to be getting some MR stats for himself so that he will be able to pick up the Banshees, and that's going to be stopping all the CC that will be thrown in his direction.
Yeah, I love the Furor upgrade on his Berserker Greaves as well, because that gives him the ability to kind of kite. And let's take a look at this team fight. Walk me through this, J-Storm.
I mean, this is just ASUS being all over the place. Late in the first lane, he shouldn't even have needed to go for a teleport. Just let the bottom lane push up by itself and instantly gets bursted down. Now Miyu as well as Jinky, they're over the wall. They're able to get any help. They don't get the damage down. They don't find the engagement that they're looking for. Yeah. And Saigon Jokers, they just clean up. Very easy job for them.
So even at the end of the day, despite being so far ahead, it's rather easy to get caught out and just, Nyx Water falling was one thing, but Su here comes out big, flashes over the wall, gets Miyu, and they take a 4 for 1. But yeah, ASUS Fate, despite being so far ahead, they still have to keep together and fight as a Death Ball unit. Whereas SAJ has a bit more freedom to kite around in pairs and in threes.
They hiding the brush now. We need to show his position so quickly just yet. The next Dragon will be spawning in about a minute and a half, and that's when Saigon Jokers, they still have the Baron buff advantage. The question is, will ASUS Fate be able to contest that one? You are still looking for the Trash Hook as well as the knockoff from Cho'Gath as the goal signs.
4 big items onto Slay. Abyssal Scepter just completed. It was the Void Staff earlier on now. Gonna be able to enter the fight and deal a lot of damage and help his own teammates amplify the damage. My major concern is that Slay, in the past 2 fights, has had rather poor entrances with his Glacial Path. And normally when I see someone play Lysandra, I tend to criticize the way they use the Glacial Path. Jinky getting caught out a bit here. But yeah, I tend to criticize players who don't use the Glacial Path properly. They have to use the terrain to mask the entry, which is something that Slay has not really done that well this game.
There as well, Lulu in the bottom. They're trying to hold up the Jace as well as the Lulu. Here comes the wraparound for the rest of Saigon Jokers. They might find a sandwich onto the jungle as well as top lane of ASUS Fate over here. Dark Panic comes in, doesn't land onto anyone. Maybe taking a fetching or damage. Jinky will be trying to repel their opponents. And look at the top lane, huge wave of minions coming in.
SAJ looking to turn this game on its head, the top wave minion wave. Just shoving in so hard, and the turret is very low. All Su has to do is walk up and auto attack it 3 times and it should go down. Shock Blast being thrown at a keyhole and Miyu, the Rupture connecting onto a couple members of SAJ, but they decide to back off quite a bit here, playing very defensively instead.
Oh, Miyu gets caught. Jungle rather tanky. Look at that, barely any damage. Safety goes in, that's the wrong target, Jinky. And oh, they lock up too. He does get the kills onto himself, however, and the lockup comes down. Safety is gonna fall. Miyu, so much damage is coming in right now. Slay is still alive in the backline. And Listener is doing so much damage in these fights. Is he gonna be moving forward? Misses the Lightbringer. Currently 2 for 2.
And Lovita just still alive and so healthy. He still has a good pool of mana to work with the keyhole. Taking a Shock Blast to the face, has to be very careful. Jinky as well as Listener moving forward aggressively. Nyx Water out of mana once again. The top wave pushing into the inhibitor turret very quickly. If they can stall ASUS Fate out, they should be able to get that inhibitor turret.
Jinky is so low right now. There's I thought he got it. I thought he got it with a crit.
Yeah, Dragon number 5 now. SAJ know they can go in onto this. Auto attacks hurt like a truck at this point in time. They get
the
one
snipe
kill.
comes! Now Kyo, good play of that one, but Ignite is sticking onto him. It looks like he is going to be falling as well. Listener not being able to do anything to save his support.
2 kills over to Lavida. Will he find the third one? He's moving forward very quickly onto Listener. The transformation will give him a speed boost.
Flashes out of that one. Does he get the outplay onto this one? But he has to run. There's just too much damage coming in. Acceleration, short burst, does not find it.
The wave coming in now. The top wave still going rather strong onto the turret itself. And the second one coming in, Miyu does nothing to defend that. Lavida as well as Su has to back off from here.
What insanity hungry. This is the second game today that we have seen 5 Dragons.
Teleport in behind from Stay. He has the frozen tomb. Su is trying to kite out of his mind now. Miyu has to run away. Nyx Water joining in the fight.
Oh, but Listener is around the corner. Will he be able to do this one? The teleport from Slay is just a little bit too far off right now. But does he get it? Luvita is out of mana. There goes the snap. Wagro comes in as well. He gets knocked down by the frozen tomb. Slay comes in. Zoria's Hourglass is popped. Listener gets the kill. The calling is popped. Safety will now be the focus. Su already has fallen as well. Safety going to be focused down by Listener. Cataclysm comes in. The Lantern is saved. The top lane is live, and Safety barely escapes away from that one.
Yeah, the Hex Drinker did proc to save his life in that one fight. Lovita still untouched at the end of everything. Great micro, using the cleanse to get out of the frozen tomb and micro the damage among his teammates. It was Nyx Water that went down for his sins though, and now ASUS Fate, 2 members pushing down the mid lane. They have the inhibitor exposed. Only Lavida available as well as Yushin to defend.
They're going to be rushing forward. They want to be picking up this inhibitor. It's a 3-man defense at around 30 seconds until Lulu as well as Kalista do revive, and that is a very big major threat as well as utility source coming in. A lot of healing, and we've got the Lulu and Kalista. I wonder if they will be able to hold on to this inhibitor. Come on, Kalista, hit the inhibitor. Yep, they're gonna get it.
And Slay in the back just to provide a bit of assistance and support to his comrades. Baron up in a minute, no vision at all from either team, and once again the wave being shoved in favor of ASUS Fate towards SAJ in the top lane. Just a big game of wave control here.
Oh, just look at the banner of command coming in from Saigon Jokers, and that's going to be creating a huge wave that's going to be pushing in for themselves. Looks like this wave is going to pick up the turret. Oh, no, wait. Looks like Slay will be there to pick it up.
Yeah, but they have to force 2 members from ASUS Fate to recall. And now that they have the man advantage, SAJ can set up the vision and even create a vision denial area where they can make picks.
Look at that. Slay just can't do any damage to it at all because of the magic immunity. Here comes the AD carry, and that's a much easier kill. 20 seconds. Onto the Baron.
The speed shine is going to be rather important here for SAJ because if they have that extra mobility, allows them to kite in and out of fights much easily with the acceleration gate as well. And Su, the point man for SAJ, has to live. He cannot get CC down and burst it. If not, it's game over for the Saigon side.
I mean, we were talking about the change from support to AD carry for Su, and I think Kalista is one of the champions that you don't want to be playing as a support main. I mean, yes, you might be able to do the laning, but when it comes to team fighting, your instincts as a support is going to be telling you to do all the wrong things, and you have to be so measured as Kalista, because yes, Martial Poise is a very useful tool to help you jump. Here's the difficult thing, it makes you jump in a fixed distance. So every time you jump, if you jump too far back, you click wrongly once in the wrong direction, you just lose so much damage in the team fight. And if you click too far forward, you're gonna get bursted now.
Yeah, it is a mechanically intensive champion, and perhaps not the right choice for Su to pick up so early on in his switch. We did see him play a lot of quirky when he made the transition over though, so not sticking to his guns despite the availability of that champion.
I'm just staring at the 2 armies clashing on the bottom lane of room and wondering what's happening over there. That seems to be more interesting than 2 teams clearing out bots. Oh, who's gonna come out ahead?
Recall coming in from SAJ. Just a battle of vision now, as both teams try to edge each other out. Of course, the bot wave gonna be fighting nonetheless.
ASUS Fate's favor, I believe. I'm gonna call it ASUS Fate to win the bot lane fight. Minions versus minions. No intervention.
Flag and drag onto Jinky, the Cataclysm
Jinky
as
gets
well.
by the Cataclysm. He has a splash, and oh, nice splash over the wall, even getting the Raptors camp.
Very preemptive flash, but knowing that he did not have any teammates around was the right choice of action. Now Kyo, tons of Targon stacks.
Oh, there we go. Stay locked up. Safety But the follow from Jinkies and Hawk with right is transfer Yushin over there. They re-engage onto Slay. They know its ultimate is down. Here comes the Zonya's Mirror comes in from the side. Slay will be the first one to fall, but here comes the Sejuani ultimate. Listener comes in from the side as well. The knockup is good on the mid floor. This is a side choke. This is fantastic control gap. But the damage is just so much right now. Here comes the damage. Listener is still alive in this fight. He comes in for the re-engagement, but ASUS Fate, they're just getting shredded in these team fights, and they have to back out on it.
Yeah, ASUS Fate 3 members are down and they can't contest this Baron anymore. SAJ moving over from the blue side jungle onto the Baron. They have good vision around it and they have cleared out the wards. And with Kalista, the Rend is going to enable you to secure this Baron very simply by pressing E when you've built up a good amount of stacks. Explorer not being around to help out, instead choosing to go to the mid lane to counter that push.
Look at the recalls coming across all the board for Saigon Jokers. That's a good 40, 50 seconds. And because they all went for the recall, ASUS Fate, they're really picking up this dragon over here. I think my Tio should go over, just trying to focus on some additional damage. The jungle's gonna spawn him out. Is he gonna be able to outsmite him? Oh no! And Saigon Jokers, they get the dragon.
They get the 5th dragon for the 2nd time in a row now, and with the Baron as well, it should be game over for ASUS Fate here. It's a simple matter of SAJ grouping up and ending the game with their superior items, gold advantage, and poke that the composition has prepared. Su at this point is pretty much a one-man sieging machine.
Just kills on the minions so fast, but you have the dragon 5 stacks when you have the Baron buff. You're just gonna be shredding turrets, minions, and everything really quickly.
I believe it is an extra 30% damage done to turrets with the 5th dragon buff, and that's pretty strong for sieging, to say the least.
$7,000 gold in the favor of Saigon Jokers, but 48 minutes in, everybody's at 6 items already, so mana's only slightly.
Vimsy forward, safety wants to go in. He has the Elixir of Iron on himself. Rupture not connecting with anyone, and this is the siege beginning. Lavido, tons of shields onto him, will get the first inhibitor that has respawned. Moving over to the mid lane, the wave is not in their favor though.
Saigon Jokers, are they able to break it? They have all the buffs. The team comp, pretty decent for sieging. You have to chase, simply damage onto the turret. But wave kind of stuff, ASUS Fate, static shift on the Lucian. And they have the short gap as well.
Yeah, unsurprisingly enough, hold on, the hook not connecting to anyone. Akio gets bound up.
Akio is just so low right now. Is damage over time going to be taking him down? And nope, the landing is going to provide him with enough shield. There we go, turret goes down. Is this going to be the inhibitor as well? Once again, Slay gets caught. He's forced to use the lockdown onto himself. And there we go, all the damage is coming through. Yushin, is he going to survive this one? The damage goes in onto Jinky, the lantern. Will he be able to save it? Oh, who's going to fall next? The trash falls next. And the moment the GA comes up, there's a day Sejuani as well.
Yeah, Sejuani did manage to get away though, but it was still 2 members of ASUS Fate that fell to SAJ. And the late game insurance of Kalista really paying off here. Miyu trying a last ditch attempt to defend his base against the siege of SAJ. It's going to be the second Nexus turret falling. Nexus itself will be going down, and GG over to SAJ. First game of the best of 2 going over to the Saigon side.
Rather back and forth game. It looked like ASUS Fate had it at one point of time, but they just botched one team fight outside the base, and then after that, poof. Saigon Jokers, they just turn it on, show us the killer instinct, and show us why they have always been one of the top teams in the GPL.
Unsurprisingly enough, both Saigon Fantastic 5 and Saigon Jokers playing a very slow game. They know what they have to do, they have calculated at which point where they are the strongest. Sometimes we call them a bit too defensive, not taking the opportunities, but I think it does pay off for them.
So with that,